Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. I had a request from a viewer to do just a quick walkthrough of how I set up the OXI One MkII sequencer to trigger the Vermona DRM1. In my case, it's the Mark IV. And it's pretty straightforward. Couple things to kind of set up initially is I've picked a track here, track 8, and you may or may not be able to see through the camera. I've got the track menu set up here. Backing out. I'm going to go back to our sequencer shift. And you can see here for the sequencer here, I have it set up as a multi-track. So I'll have 8 individual tracks on this one sequencer. And I have the base channel for MIDI going out on channel 8. And I'm using tip ring sleeve for the output because I've got the split back here from OXI, so I can send MIDI out to multiple different instruments. In this case, I'm using that for regular 5-pin DIN MIDI to the Vermona. So inside each of the tracks we have here can have their own MIDI channel setting. I have them all just set to 8. And to show that, turn on track. Here you can see I'm still on MIDI channel A, 8, 8, 8, and so forth. You'll also see here I've got the offset note, in this case C1. Now OXI sets things up so that your main track number 1 is down here at the bottom and track 8's at the top. In my mind that's backwards because the numbering for the sequencers is the other way around, so I just set it up backwards from what they defaulted to. Because it also matches physically top to bottom with the Vermona, with your bass drum kick up here, all the way down to your clap at the bottom, and that's how I've set this up. And I picked my notes ahead of time so that I could have the right notes that I wanted, triggering each of the 8 channels of the Vermona. You see here my top one is C1. I have that one mapped to the kick drum. I have G1 mapped to drum 1, A1 to drum 2, A sharp 1 to multi, D1 snare, and then my hi-hats are F1, F sharp 1, and this is because automatically when I do the MIDI mapping, the Vermona is going to take whatever pitch I send it, and then 2 semitones down will be the closed version of the hat. And then finally B1 for the clap. You can hear that here. So then all I did was, having this set up on the OXI One, I just have to hit clap and drum 1 simultaneously. It'll give me a little tone to let me know that's in MIDI learn mode. And then I went through making sure that I tried to turn preview on first, and we can see that shift the keyboard now illuminates preview. And when I push the keyboard, now I get the multi-track keyboard. And so starting up here in the upper right is what my track for the kick drum is. And because I have preview on, you can hear it. There we go. All 8 of the main voices. And so all I really did to make sure that the Vermona was tracking this is I went into that clap, drum 1 mode. Now it's in MIDI learn mode. And I went through and pushed one by one each of the trigger buttons on the Vermona and then sent it just a single note. Then I went to the next one, same thing, and walked all the way through. And that's how I set these 2 up. And then I've actually got 2 different sequencers right now with patterns. Sequencer 7, I have it set up the same way. I'm just using individual notes mapped the same way these are. I just happen to be using the new domino sequencer for this track. If I mute 8, I also have something on sequencer 6, but we won't hear it right now. If we just play it, we get a sense of what's in the domino here. And then if I mute that one and open up, unmute our sequencer 8, you'll hear the multi-track. there you have it. That's how I set up the OXI One MkII sequencer to trigger my Vermona DRM1 Mark IV. Cheers.